Hello and welcome to Tech Talk Live on Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. And you might wonder where Blake is today. So he's out of his streaming studio today. I should say hi to you all. And luckily we are not alone, but we have Joel from France joining us. And hello, Joel. Good evening.
Hello, good evening. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, I'm also fine. Yeah, so let's get right into it. So we are kind of in the mid of a small series. We started with the last episode of Tech Talk Live, which is all about arpeggios. So in the last episode, we talked about, let's say, like the common things of arpeggios, how to find them, the category search, all the specials there, and how to assign arpeggios to parts, and some of the settings, some of the special parameters of arpeggios. That was the last episode. In this one, we will focus on recording arpeggios, but not recording user arpeggios, but just recording the data. Of course, the arpeggiator creates MIDI data, and this can be recorded, and this is what we want to do today. And on the next one, we want to focus on creating user arpeggios. So this episode, we divided basically in 3 sections. Let's say it like this. The first section will be how about to record arpeggios internally, so using the internal pattern sequencer of the instrument. We are using today the MODX Plus, but everything what we are showing is also technically the same on MODX without Plus, and of course on Montage. The second section will be about recording ARPs to DAW. We show how to do that. And the third section will be how to move recorded, so internally recorded data to a DAW, or maybe to use it for different devices or on your computer and the different software, whatever. So first of all, first section is how to record or recording arpeggios to the internal pattern sequencer. In our opinion, the pattern sequencer is the ideal tool to catch the arpeggio data, because almost nothing can go wrong. So there's no worries about double notes or missing notes, and or about recorded notes. We don't have to worry about any of synchronization with external devices. We don't have to worry about quantization, all these stuff. And I want to now demonstrate real quick how to record arpeggios. So I prepared this small performance. It consists of 4 parts. All 4 parts are using arpeggios right now. So we're focusing on arpeggios, so we have just arpeggios. And this is basically taken different parts from different preset performances, and one part is taken from Montage Expanded. And when I want to record the arpeggio data out of this performance, I just press the record button. It takes me directly into the pattern sequencer. And here I can start making some settings, some changes for my recording. For example, I want to go for 8 bars here, so I turn the length to 8 bars. By the way, we have the ability to record 8 scenes, and each scene can be up to 256 bars. So this is just 8 bars. And then I want to turn off the loop, because when recording arpeggios, in most cases, we don't need a loop, because we end with the 8 bars and then everything is being recorded. And what I can do, and what is a cool thing when recording arpeggios, is to use key on start, because key on start starts the recording immediately as soon as I press a note or a chord or whatever. Because we are recording arpeggios, everything is in time, so I don't need the pre-count, or I don't even need the click, because I have some drum here and stuff. So I just have to press the first chord, and then it immediately starts recording, which I will do right now, and then we'll go ahead. So my add bars are over, and I can check if everything worked fine so far. Just play it back real quick. Sounds like recorded, so everything's fine. So what I can do now is I can add something, of course. I'm in the pattern sequencer right now, but it's this view is a split view between the pattern sequencer in the upper right, in the upper area of the screen, and in the lower area we have the performance parameter. So you can see we have up to 8 parts. I'm using 4 parts. The white squares in the part name show me that there's something recorded, that data has been recorded to this part. And when I now want to add something, maybe a different part, I want to play something different, I can just add another part right here without leaving the pattern sequencer, without going to the performance home screen. And for example, in this case, I want to add some percussion, and I can use the rhythm pattern button right here. Rhythm pattern takes me directly to a specified category search that focuses just on drum and percussion performances. As you can see here, a lot of drum kits, so I can go through all the pages and choose whatever I like to. But I want to make it quick. I use the search term percussion, so PERC is enough, and then I press done. And then you can see we have four performances that are just percussion, named with percussion. So I check the first one, tap on it, and then you can see in the lower area of the screen we have also access to the referring arpeggio data. Like in this case it's called Latin samba. Let's hear how it sounds like. I just need to press a note. Okay, so far so good. Let's check this one. Not that good for this performance. Let's check this. Yeah, this seems to fit to my performance. I want to reduce the volume a little bit because it might be a bit loud compared to the other parts. Then I can stop this. I can exit. And now I'm back in the pattern sequencer screen. And now I want to add this recording for just the performance part. And in this case, in order to do this, I need to deactivate the keyboard control switches for the part 1 to 4 because the pattern sequencer records everything that's either under keyboard control, so with the keyboard control switches, or if the part is selected. So in this case, I just select the part with the percussion data, with a percussion arpeggio, and when I start now recording, then it just records the percussion part. Again, I can just press the record button. Key on start is already on. I just need to press a note because everything is doing the arpeggio. So you can see the part get is this white square, so we can see the data is being recorded. We can check really quick. All good. So now I can activate the keyboard control switches again. And then what I want to do now is I want to store the performance, because all the changes I made here in the lower area are made to the performance, not to the pattern sequencer. So I store the performance, and I will store a new version of it. So I go to store new version, and I say it's 1A. There we go. What I need to do now is I need to press the button store performance, store pattern and performance settings, sorry. So this is because I stored a new version of the performance, and now it reconnects this new performance, this new version of the performance, to my currently or recently recorded pattern. Of course, I can rename the pattern if I like to. I will skip it for now because we want to have it a little bit quick. Next thing I want to show you real quick is that we can shape the already recorded data, arpeggio data, using the play effects. So I go to Edit Job, and then I go to the play effects. This is the play effect page number 1. We have 2 pages here with different parameters. And now let's go for some groove parameters, and let's make it a little bit shuffly, for example. So I go to for 160 for all the groovy parts here, 1, 2, 3, and also 5, the percussion part. I leave the keyboard part as it is, and then let's hear what it sounds like now. Pretty different, right? So it's a totally different groove just with these parameters, and you can really have fun with this. So I go to the next page, and for example, I can also shape the arpeggio data recording according to the length of the notes, for example, the gate time or velocity. I want to solo the first part right now, so I press part, select mute solo, and then I go for solo part 1. This is just the synth arpeggio, and then I go for a really short gate time, and I will bring up the velocity to the maximum. So what I can also do is I can also reduce the velocity for the keys part a little bit, like so. Then I press solo. That's it. So, for example, just to demonstrate how quick you can change the recorded data using the play effects. If I now want to have this changes applied to the MIDI data, then I would press the normalize play effects. I don't want to do this right now. I just wanted to demonstrate how quick this is. I exit this, and then I go back to the initial version of my recorded pattern right here. So now it sounds like before, like I recorded it, right? Okay, so that's it for the first section. And so far and so forth, we just recorded the MIDI data into the internal pattern sequencer. And now we want to go to the main performance screen, and I want to show you how to record the arpeggio data to the DAW. We are using Keybase, of course, for this example, and you can basically use each and every DAW that is capable of recording MIDI, and the workflow is basically the same or similar to the one I show you here. So I prepared a small project here, which I will open right now. There we go. This project just contains this one track here. It's a MIDI track, and of course the MIDI input is set to MODX port 1, and output also set to MODX port 1. And nothing else is prepared right here, just the one MIDI part. And yeah, so what I want to do now is when we record to the DAW, we have, of course, maybe some more settings, and it can be a bit challenging, but let me show you what we have to do first. So first of all, we have to synchronize between the DAW and the instrument. Of course, I can set the instrument to the master and the DAW to the slave, or I can do it the other way, which I will do now. So I go to the transport panel here, and then I use the project synchronization setup here, as you can see. And under destinations, maybe I can make it a little bit bigger here so that it's better visible. And then under destinations, MIDI clock destinations, I set the MODX port 1, right? So just MIDI clock destination, not the MIDI time code. That's important. Then I press OK, and then everything's prepared so far, and I can start recording, right? So of course now I record from Cubase, and everything's set up, so let's go for it, right? Yeah. That's it so far. So as you can see, no arpeggio data has been recorded because everything is just chords that I played. So we need to do our settings in order to record the arpeggio data. And I want to show you how to do this. So we go to the utility, or I can also use a quick shortcut using the keyboard symbol here. It takes me directly to the quick setup. And the quick setup, we have some shortcuts at the bottom of the screen, which is standalone, as you can see. Then we have MIDI record on DAW, ARP record on DAW, and audio record on DAW. And what we need to do, of course, is to get to ARP record on DAW. I can have a little border here, so you can see that the arpeggiator moves from the right to the left. So in this case, the MIDI in goes to local control, goes to the arpeggiator and then to the tone generator. And when I go to ARP record on DAW, the arpeggiator outputs the MIDI directly to the MIDI out. And we can also take a look here on this page, MIDI I/O. Here you can see ARP MIDI out is set to on. This is what these shortcut ARP record on DAW will do. And when I go back to my performance, I turn on the arpeggio, of course, and then I undo the recording. Let me change the view again. So there we go. I undo my last recording, and then I go to start recording again. Stop it. There we go. And now we have recorded all the arpeggio data into one track. But that's not a problem because Cubase has a really great shortcut for this. And it's found under MIDI, dissolve part. And then we have the choose to dissolve the part to separate channels or separate pitches. Of course, we will go for separate channels. I just click on process, and there we are. Cubase does the whole job so it creates for each and every part, it creates a track and it mutes the original recording automatically. So now I can turn off the arpeggio, is already turned off, and now I can start playing the recorded data directly from Cubase like this. Right, there we go. There's another way to do it. For example, now I played a kind of little different chord progression than before, than I did on the internal pattern sequencer. When you want to record exactly the same chord progression or whatever you played from the internal pattern sequencer to the DAW, you can also record it automatically like this. So I will undo this recording real quick. Undo, there we go. Now everything's blank again. And now I just activate my pattern sequencer by pressing on the play button here. And when I now start Cubase recording, it immediately starts also the pattern sequencer and records the data that's been recorded on the pattern sequencer like this. That's it. And I can also, of course, use the command MIDI dissolve parts and separate channels. There we go. And everything's fine. Everything's been recorded. So you see, it can be done, but you see that there's quite a bit more to consider to set up, like synchronization and like settings in the instruments, whatever. So recording in the internal pattern sequencer in the first step is always quite a good idea. But now we have, of course, the third section, and this is maybe an even more comfortable way to transport the already recorded data from the internal pattern sequencer to a DAW or to your computer to use it for whatever. And this will be shown by Joël from France. So take it away, Joël.
Yeah, thank you, Blake. So yes, I will show you something between the two. I will say I have already recorded my pattern inside my MODX Plus, and after I want to bring what I have inside my MODX Plus to my computer, to my DAW. But just for starting, I want just to remember you that you can associate your pattern to your live set directly, and you can play like this. I will let hear you what I have recorded. Just let go. Yes, here it is. So just 5 scene memory. It's coming from Motif XF Performance. You have already this inside your montage, if you have the montage. If you have the MODX or the MODX Plus, you can load it for free as a library, of course. And let's say I have just finishing recording my pattern. The 3 first part use Arpeggio. The 4th is for playing a brass sound, like this. And I want to put the MIDI data from the 3 parts with Arpeggio and my 5 scene memory in my DAW. So the first way you can do this is to connect an USB stick rear your montage or MODX or MODX Plus, and you can save each scene as a separate MIDI file. So, and perhaps you will think, okay, so I am on pattern, so to save things, I need to go in utility, I need to go in content here, and select MIDI file. And you do not need, you really do not need to do this when you are in the pattern recording or playing. You, from the screen, just to press here, edit job. So from Edit Job, I go to this page, which is called Overview. And here you see here up to my finger the scene number. So here I am on scene 1. You see I can see scene 2, 3, 4, etc. And just on the right you have a little pad, a little slot, save as MIDI file. And when you press on it, you directly go to the good screen. And you are ready to do this. So save as a new file. And my first advice is, this is the name of the pattern I have recorded, but this is my scene 1, so do not forget to add the scene number here. I will say done, so it's saved on my USB stick. And now I can do the same for scene 2, save as MIDI file, save as a new file. Here I add the scene number, etc., etc. I will not do the same for the 5, and it will take too much time. So I have saved all on my USB stick, and I can remove it from my USB 2 device port, put it on my computer or laptop, and just do a copy paste for the MIDI files. It's very easy to done. So I have a folder ready, so I am on bottom here now. But I can show you one other way without any USB stick. And I just need to take my mouse and I will open this. This is MODX Plus connect. And you have the same montage connect for montage. So it's directly connect to my MODX Plus in USB connection. And here, when you start it, you are on record screen. You have import screen here, and on import you have song. So here I can see actually what song I have directly in my MODX Plus, but I am on my computer. And I can do the same for the pattern, and you can see here my Auto Funk 2 TTL I have record with the 5 scene memory, and I can just take it and drag and drop directly. So on this view, each time the MODX Plus go down, and we say, but it's better to have the white font to show you. So I can very, very quickly, as you see, I have my 5 scene memory here inside my computer. No USB stick need, just go with the USB to host connection. So I have the MIDI files, or I can work with my DAW. So depend of the DAW. Not all of you have Cubase. Here, this is Cubase, but most of the DAW have this kind of function. So sorry, it's in French. You know I'm French. So file, I say in English, import MIDI file, and you can import a MIDI file as example. Most of the DAW can do this, or one other way, and most of MIDI DAW support this. Generally, drag and drop is support, so you have this to test. And you see directly I can drag and drop the MIDI file. So here it's in Cubase, so you have just to test on your DAW if it's work. It's a very, very quick way, and you can make after copy, paste, etc., etc. I have just closed this, and let's go down for this. But I have one other way to show you something. I will close this project here when you are on Cubase. And if you work with Cubase, remember you have Cubase AI free with your MODX Plus. You can have, after you install MODX Connect, this kind of projects, Yamaha MODX multi-channel recording. So I will open this one. It asks me to the folder I need. Yes, I want to activate. Just take a little bit of time. I will close this one. And the new project come here on my other windows. And with the project, you have the MODX Connect that open. And we are in the same configuration. Record as the first window. So on record, you can save one by one your performance, but this is not the today topic. And with Cubase, you do not need to put your scene and put it in one folder on your computer. With Cubase, you can directly drag and drop your scene into Cubase, directly from my MODX Plus to Cubase. So easy to done like this. So you can, if you want, put 2 times the scene 2, you can put it like this. You can make a copy paste, of course, if you want to do something quicker. So I just do it quickly. Yes, this. Do not forget to put the limit here if you are on Cubase. So I will close this like this. And I go just a little bit up, because the important thing, know if you have all the scene, you have organized all of them as you want, and you say, okay, I want to play it and to record after some other things. Yes, but no, because my performance is as tempo 112, and here the project is as 120, so you need to change this. So I just need to take my keyboard to change the value, of course. Come back to 112 like this. So I have the same tempo. In this case, no, Cubase will be the master. So you can try this synchronization if you want, but you can do also simple like this. Just put the same tempo, and you say, okay, I have this, and I want to hear what is done. And I have no audio for this time. Yes, I know why. Because, sorry for this. I have forget one point. I will close this project because I need to prepare one of the one I have. Tac, I have prepared one with all the good settings. It's in live, huh? You remember, huh? Sometimes we forget something, so I need to open this project, and I need to open my MODX up here, and I will redo quickly the import, wave, drag and drop, like this. I will do simpler one scene for each here and here. Put this, and I have already set the good tempo like this, and now, say, come back, and now, if you remember what let's play through the live set at the start, this is really not the same thing. Why? Because now the MIDI data are on Cubase, but I have let, because I have finished recording like this, I let my arpeggio on-off on. And if I do this, the MODX now is under control from Cubase and play the arpeggio. And you have already recorded them, so you do not need this. So you need to set arp on-off to off. And let's retry. Seems to be better, but we do not have the drums. And if you remember our first episode, I have shown you this. On the edit part, I go to part 1, arpeggio, and on the command page, I show you the command page, because why the drum do not play? Because it's on ArtPlay only. So, like I have set it off, the drums do not play. So I come back here, and now I have the drums too. Okay. This project is a great project because you have all the MIDI files. So now, if I want, I can add my brass part like this. And you have the 5 audio file, WAV5, because we have 5 separate stereo buses on MODX and MODX Plus. I will not go in this way because this is not the today topic, but just this is why this project is very great, because all is ready to play. And if I want to record my track 4, which is the brass part, as you see, track 4, and if I come back to Cubase, you can see I have the drum, the bass, the guitar, and I have something here. This is the chord I have already played on my MODX to record the arpeggio. And in this case, I do not need this, so I will just delete. And now I can record my part 4, say my solo brass I want without arpeggio. But if you were fine, you have all of this. And I'll show you a little bit something with this. Why I have all. We'll see the part 4 with the 2 and the 3. Here with the drums, because they are on keyboard control. So do not forget to remove the keyboard control for the parts already recorded in Cubase. So now, if I want to play only the brass, I have only the brass. And if I come back to my Cubase, now I can record directly something with this brass. And you can add some other things, of course. And I think that's all for me. I have shown, I think, all the tips to put all your synth memory inside your computer, and after to record, and the advice of how to record and the mistake you can perhaps done sometimes. So I hope it will help you. Let's come back to Abe.
Yeah, thanks to a great presentation. And yeah, as you can see, This is quite comfortable if you use Montage or MODX Connect directly within Cubase or even standalone, whatever you do. It's quite comfortable to just drag and drop your MIDI data, your already recorded MIDI data from the internal pattern sequencer to your computer, however you might use it later on. Yeah, so that's the end. We are through with this episode, and thanks for joining us. The next Tech Talk Live will happen on November 29th. And there we will take a look at how to create arpeggios as mentioned. And like always, we like to draw your attention to our services at the end of each episode. So first of all, we have YamahaSynths.com. And this is basically the one and only web page for Yamaha synthesizers. And you can find articles like Blake's Take and lots of how-to and whatever. You can find tutorial videos and artist videos, whatever. Then we have IdeaScale. IdeaScale is a platform where you can discuss ideas for a new operating system or for a new instrument and whatever. Then we have SoundMondo, our social sound sharing platform, which is about sound sharing for starting from Rephase series up to Montage, including the stage keyboards YC and CP. And last but not least, we have the Music Production Guide. This is a free PDF magazine we are producing in Europe, in German and English. And you can go to musicproductionguide.eu and download each and every issue that we produced for more than 10 years now for free. So that's it for today. Thanks a lot. Consider to like and subscribe to this channel, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you.